This episode of Tararua Fever Scroggin is dedicated to our good mate Tom. Rest in peace, bro. We'll always miss you.
Oh, we've waited for a while, so now we need a taste. Now the boys have tipped their packs out, and they've got something to get us through the day. Once again, it's Scroggin.
Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora. Welcome back to another episode of Tararua Fever Scroggin, the bonus trail mix of the show. And it's the same deal as always. It's a bit random, a bit tasty, and definitely not the place to be dropping crumbs on the track. It's just not that good for ecological fauna and flora and all that, man.
And expensive.
Ke whakarongo. I think we need to start again. I need to start that again.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Once again, it's Scroggin.
Kia ora and welcome back to another episode of Tararua Fever Scroggin, the bonus trail mix of the show. Kei te whakarongo mai koe o te Tararua Fever, ko Jerry Toku Wingwa. I am your resident imposter expert who just loves to yarn about tramping in the Tararua Ranges. And joining me as always with his dulcet tones, it's Kentos. Kia ora hoa. How are you, mate?
I am good. It's pretty cold. We've had a definite change in the last couple of days. So I have been in the middle of the firewood process for calendar year 25 and calendar year 26.
Yeah.
No, 26, 27.
27, yeah. Gee, you're going a year in advance.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's been fun. But no, really happy to be on another Scroggin episode and getting close to into the Tararuas ourselves, which we can talk about a bit more soon. But how are you?
I'm all good. It's turned cold here. We had a wedding in the weekend on the West Coast. It's the first time bringing our wee guy away.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I probably didn't realise is that he definitely clocked that he wasn't at home.
True.
He was like, where the hell am I? and then when he got home, he was like, I'm in another location that's more familiar to me, but what the hell are you guys doing to me? Yeah. No.
Yes, that's something you don't necessarily think about, really. That's been pretty much his whole world.
Yeah.
You know, within reason, and then he's shot off to the West Coast and he's getting nibbled by sandflies.
Well, we've got a few very non-essential bits of Scroggin to go through today. It's just kind of nice to haves, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the photo competition, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll be hearing from Ash, our resident expert, later in the episode. So that's exciting, and it was really great to have him on. And we've all been perusing the submissions, and they're all looking pretty good.
Well, to get things kicked off, we were just talking about me having a 5.5-month-old son, and I've started to realise that it's a bit like an aviary in here, and I thought I'd play a quick game of some samples that I've been taking, and it's called, Is it a bird of the Tararua Ranges or is it my son?
Perfect.
So I am going to start it off right now, see if you can guess. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go bird on that one.
Yeah? What sort of bird would that be?
Oh.
Might be just your common chewy, a hee-hee, a stitch bird,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice.
maybe a tomtit.
Sounds bigger than a tomtit to me.
Do you want to go again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is that?
that's Johan.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's Johan.
What?
All right, next.
Wow. Yeah.
What do you reckon that one is?
That's him as well.
You don't think that's Karere?
No.
Do you want to go again?
Yeah.
That's not the big squawk of the Karere, you reckon?
I don't even know, bro. He's thrown me off with that first one.
I'll try again.
That's Johan.
Johan. This is a stupid game, but they're actually all Johan.
Wow, that's crazy.
But isolating them, you can actually, I mean, I start to feel like I'm in the Tararua Ranges.
Very cool, very cool. You also shared, I actually just finished watching it, the video of Andrew Thompson doing the Northern Crossing.
Yes.
Running.
So that's another point that I wanted to make, is that, we had the pleasure of interviewing Andrew Thompson, who runs the Jumbo Holdsworth Mountain Race. And he mentioned it to me after him and I had a bit of a long chat after the interview. And I said to him that for years and years and years, there was this one video of a runner doing the Northern Crossing in Tararua Ranges. And I always used to watch it because I always used to just have the Northern Crossing up on a pedestal. I still do. And this guy does it in one day. He leaves from the Wainawa Road and then comes out at Levin. And he takes his GoPro with him and he's got a bit of a production set up. And it's awesome. And the views are stunning. It gives you a really good indication of what the Northern Crossing's like. And when I was telling him that, he goes, I think that was the one I did. He was like, he told me that he was going to a party in Levin that evening, and so he thought he'd run it. So I thought that that's possibly worth mentioning post that interview. And I'll put the link for that YouTube video clip in the show notes.
Some good tunes on there too that I thought you would like. As well on that, the good soundtrack, so get you G'd up. Yeah, no, it was a good watch. Yeah, I didn't realize he was running to a party, and that makes it even more.
I know. I mean,
what a way to get to a party.
That's not stationed.
No. Oh, that's cool. On that note, I heard there might have been a bush stuff up at Powell.
That's the next agenda point for the pod, man.
Yeah.
Did you see it on the Tararua Facebook forum?
No. I haven't seen it. You mentioned it, and I've never heard about it before in the past. I haven't seen anything about it.
Ah, man, so cool. There's this video. I mean, I spend I don't often like going on Facebook, and when I do, I just gravitate to the Tararua Facebook forum to see what's going on. And the other day I logged in, and there was like this video of like a whole lot of people trekking up to Powell Hut, and one of them had what's the big brass instrument that like wraps around the person and then over their shoulder, and it's a big horn. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not very musical myself.
I don't know either. I can picture exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Lex and I went and saw the Rector of City Rebels band, a well-known Wellington band in Christchurch the other day. It was our first date night after having Johan. Yeah. And there was one of them there because they're a big brass band as well. And so I that was familiar.
Apparently, it's called a sousaphone. But anyway,
this video is of a whole lot of musicians walking up to Powell Hut, and then they have a bit of a party in Powell Hut and make a whole lot of music. It looked like on the top of Mount Holdsworth as well. So if I can find the link for that, I will also put it in the show notes. And what I'd like to do is try follow up with the event organizer for that, and maybe we can get a small interview.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Beyond the road's where it ends.
It's a road end. To say it's a hut.
Road's where it ends.
Topographical map.
And Nick Goodall's at it again.
This is the last agenda point for that I sent you through for the Scroggin episode. Yeah.
More serious note.
Bloody Goodall, friend of the pod. If any regular listeners are tuning in, they would have heard him on here before. He came on the my baby shower tramp.
I have listened to every podcast of yours, so making me keen to get amongst it. Does Uber Eats not deliver there? Does that mean there's the ability to take beers in? Happy to see the hut when we did. The muscles were feeling it. I got some chafage in an area which was not ideal.
Yeah, so he's familiar. He's been around the block on Tararua Fever.
You might recognise him off TV1, Channel 1 News.
Yeah, you often hear him on RNZ or the news.
Yeah. Doesn't stop talking, actually, does he?
And so he... and he featured... Okay, so I'm going to lay down the context. A friend of mine, who I went to primary school with and college, high flyer finance dude, He's got his own finance podcast now. I'm hesitant to share any links on this one because this is a bit of a fun pod, and these guys are professionals, and I don't necessarily want to blur those lines. But Chris was interviewing Goodall and about Goodall's profession. But at the end, Chris said, "So, is there any books or podcasts or anything you're into at the moment?" He asked all his guests that same question, and here's what Goodall had to say.
Maybe Nick, start with you. Favourite book or podcast?
Yeah, no, Chris, you're speaking my language because I've got young kids also, so podcasts are my thing, to the point where we even have our own, of course, at Cotality. So got to give that a plug, the New Zealand Property Market Podcast, where we catch up weekly on what's happening in the market. Outside of our own, which, would have to be my absolute favourite, I suppose it probably drifts towards my sports leanings as well. Do like my football in particular. And what I'm really enjoying recently is the Football Fever one, which Jason Pine does. And generally each week he and Michael Burgess just catch up about what's happening in the A-League at the moment. So particularly for my Wellington Phoenix, the women going very well, men doing so-so. They also throw Auckland FC in there, though you can skip that section if you're like me and aren't such a fan. But that's my other one, is to just hear what's going on in some of the background of those football teams.
Awesome.
Crickets.
He left me hanging there because I thought he was about to mention Tararua Fever over and over again. I was like, oh, the next bit's coming in and he's going to mention it. And no, he failed to mention that this might be one of his favourite podcasts that he never misses an episode of. And I was a bit disgusted at the time. I was like, where was our shout out? This is our moment to be famous.
Yes, we were going to get him on to talk about his latest mission, but we might have to reconsider.
Well, I thought I might save that for the next Scrog. We'll get him on.
Absolutely. Yep. No.
Almost inexcusable as a good friend.
Nothing personal, nothing personal.
Nothing personal, good. So, like I said, we're not covering anything real important today, and that's about as important as it gets, I think.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on the pod again, Jizza. It's been great to have you on Ruahine Rising, the podcast that is anything and everything to do with tramping in the Ruahine Ranges, and it's been awesome to get your perspective from a Tararua Fever point of view. Just before we get out of here today, I just ask all my guests this one question. Have you got any favourite podcasts or books that you've been reading lately or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, cheers, Gazza. It's been a pleasure. What have I got going on at the moment? Yeah, apart from the Wellington Phoenix, who are pretty much always a shambles, I really enjoy the Phoenix podcast with Piney and Co. But I've actually been really into this new one lately that's quite exciting by a guy called Rick Goodwill. It's on advanced lawn valuation and turf metrics. And he's doing some really good cutting-edge stuff around regional grass performance, moisture-adjusted growth indicators, quarterly turf resilience data, really good stuff. He's doing some interesting breakdowns on irrigation confidence across the lower North Island zones at the moment, and he's really not afraid to challenge the traditional backyard narrative,
Oh, that sounds really interesting, Jizza. Any others that you listen to at the moment? Nothing from any best friends who might have passion pods or anything like that? Nah.
It's Ruahine Rising.
Right, Baz, before we wrap things up, we thought if we're going to run a Tararua photo competition, we should probably get someone who can tell the difference between a good, moody alpine light and plain sideways rain, right? So we've brought in a professional. Ash Rocket is a photographer with a sharp eye and plenty of time spent in the hills, and he's kindly agreed to be the judge of our photo comp. So Ash, welcome to Scroggin. How's it going, mate?
Hello, thanks for having me. Pretty good. Pretty rainy, but you can't complain,
Yeah.
No such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing.
Yeah, nice.
Good, cool.
But yeah, thanks, Ash. And your portfolio was epic. And me and Jerry were we were talking about it before, kind of being like, oh, it won't mean anything from us. But yeah, looking at those photos made me feel good. So I'm like, I think that's a good sign.
That's the goal. That is the goal.
Yeah, we're really stoked to have you on board. Thank you, mate. And I guess I've got a couple of questions for you. To start off with, what are a few things that you basically keep in mind for a good photo?
A little bit of sunlight. That's always nice. Kind of helps things be a little bit more dynamic. Generally, I think when you're in the hills, obviously it's very tranquil, and oftentimes I won't take a photo because I'll just enjoy looking at it. But I guess for me, a lot of the time it's about noticing little things, kind of like trying to identify a bit of a story or some, like the story of the land or like how it's kind of formed and the shapes and how the contours of the hills kind of meet the trees. And there's so many different things that you can kind of look for. There's so many unique things out in the bush that you just don't see in normal life. The wildlife for one. Just the denseness of the bush can sometimes be quite epic and quite intense. I'm very much into like that, capturing that mood. Like try and capture the feeling of the moment. But you kind of just got to play with what you're given, really, when it's when you're out in nature.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy who doesn't actually always take that many photographs, or I see a moment, I'm like, oh, where's my phone? It's in the back of my pack, the bottom of my pack, So I pull it out and I take a photo, and it never does it justice. And I was talking to my mum about that the other day, and that's the reason she went and bought a brand new iPhone for some exorbitant amount of money. But I take it that you don't use an iPhone when you when you're out in the bush and stuff. You've got a proper camera that you use and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they say the best camera is the one that's on you, right? It's in the moment. So I mean, you can have like a sort of average camera, but still take a pretty good photo. But it's better than having no camera, right? But yeah, I generally carry around like at the moment, I generally use a sort of lightweight mirrorless camera, which is a Fujifilm. It's actually kind of an older model. It's from 2016, but I was kind of traveling with this camera, so I needed something lightweight, and I shot the entirety of my sort of 7-month trip using this one camera and this one lens, and it did the job. It was like a 27mm lens, so fairly wide, but not too wide due to the crop sensor. So I'm not sure if you're aware of like how the sensors work and stuff, but
No.
if you have a lens that's like 27mm and you've got for example, like Canon use like a CMOS sensor. Generally, there'll be I think it's a 1.4 or 1.6 times ratio on the crop for the sensor, and so that means that your lens is actually 27 times 1.4, and that's actually the sort of the meterage you're getting. You might often hear people say things like, "Oh, I've got a full frame camera," and so that would be true to the lens that you've got.
Okay, right.
The photos on those ones, just the proportions and things just generally look a little bit nicer. And that's what I ran for years. So I used to have one of those. And I remember one Christmas Eve, we actually went into Arthur's Pass and walked up to Lake Mavis. And I took my like Canon 5D, big, heavy camera. And I'd like kind of not really done much tramping before that, really. And I took some really cool photos, but man, I was like, oh, I'm not doing that again anytime soon. I'll get a lighter camera next time. Ultimately, like just a nice camera that you know how to use, that's familiar, that's kind of a bit hardy. You can drop it and it's gonna be all good. Don't mind getting it wet.
Nice. One of our good friends, Oscar, Jerry, we used to go tramping with him. Yeah, and he won't mind me saying this, so it's just funny memories. University, really, those first few years after school, and he was still is, like, passionate photographer, but so he'd have his old school heavy film camera, his current other camera, he would have, and then he'd have like a tripod, and so he'd have this tramping pack that was like over 20 kilos, like 25 kilos, just with like his photography equipment, and it's like woolen jerseys, and like for all of us, we get to enjoy the photos and everything that came out of it, but poor Oscar was just lugging these massive weights around. But he streamlined a bit over the years, but it was always good.
That's hardcore. That is hardcore.
Walk up the hill. And as far as what we've seen coming in, Ash, from the listeners, we've had a bit of a flood of them coming in recently, which is awesome after a sedate start to the competition. But has there been any pleasant surprises in there? Some early front runners that you've seen?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a high caliber. Like, it's actually pretty impressive. Do you know what's really surprised me is actually like there's some really beautiful compositions as well. There's definitely one I've got my eye on, which is currently sort of standing out for a couple of reasons. But I might keep that to myself for now. But
Nice.
but yeah, it's it really
Cool.
tells a cool story, I think.
Awesome.
But yeah, really cool, and I'd love to see more if anyone's got
Yeah.
if anyone's got any.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being on the show and to play this role. People's summers might not be quite just over yet, despite some of the bad weather coming through. So send through your submissions if you're going out doing some epic adventures. It doesn't have to be Tararua, only for Tararua focused, I guess, Ash, but that is kind of our preference. But we do know that there's a wider world out there than just the Tararua Ranges. We're going to close submissions at the end of March. And we'll get you on for one of our full eps to announce the winners. Would that sound all right?
In April, for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. And just a reminder, I think we said we might have to go back and listen, Jerry, but the first place gets the choice out of that Coffee Outdoors voucher or the book that you mentioned, and then whoever comes in runner-up gets whatever isn't chosen out of those two options. And voucher to kind of the value, I think probably $50 at Coffee Outdoors. But yeah. So good luck to everyone.
Can't wait.
Thanks very much for coming on, Ash.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all right. No worries.
Thanks again to Ash. It's really great to have a judge finalised for this competition, mate. And feels like we've really got the ball rolling on it, doesn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Chatting to him made me realise how little I do know about photography.
I'm the same. But I do appreciate a good photo. So
100%. So no, he'll be awesome. So yeah, looking forward to revealing the winner early April.
Keep them coming in. You can get in touch with us for any reasons at all, for submitting your photos, for letting us know awesome tramps that you've been on. If you want to even get on the pod and tell a story, get in touch with us. Our contact is tararua.fever@gmail.com. I always almost get that one wrong, Baz. Get in touch with us on our Facebook page if you want to. You can leave a message there or even on our Instagram. So yeah. But we better leave it there for the evening, Baz. What do you reckon?
Yes, I was going to say, exciting news. We won't be submitting into the competition, but Jerry and I are in the midst of planning a mission 27th to the 29th of March. So we might see you in there.
All right, Baz. We'll see you on the next one, eh?
Awesome.
Catch you, bro.
Kia ora, brother. See you soon.